Hi, welcome. Today we will see 5 chess tricks that will help you to unleash your power. You will give quick checkmates and you will win quickly a lot of games. One of the tricks I play normally in my own games. I have several different variations and openings, gambits that will help you to improve. So if you enjoyed this video, please tell me something, because I have enough material for one entire year of chess tricks. So let's jump to our video. But before that, did you know that almost 87% of the viewers isn't subscribed? Why don't you like me? I'm a great person and I want to help you to improve. To do this, you just need to subscribe. It's free, it's easy. You just need to click on the red button and you will be helping a lot. Of course, if you enjoy the content, please like and push notifications on. And any suggestion or critics, you can always put on the comments below or talk directly with me by chess.com. For example, my nickname is dark_attack. So let's jump to our first exercise. And well, the first, we need to talk about this, of course. This is a beginner opening and is the A-yard queen. So we start with E4 and black will play something like E5. And our pattern is to play bishop, queen, and give checkmate. So, of course, this is for players below of 600, something like that, or 500 probably. So I will give 2 different approaches. So if bishop plays, for example, black will play something strange. This is normal. And after queen to h5, of course, if black is a beginner, he will play something like knight to f6. And the thing is that we are threatening checkmate in 1 because the queen and the bishop are attacking the f7 square. So after we take with the queen, we will give checkmate. So don't forget, you want always to take the pieces with the most powerful piece. So this is the normal scholar's mate, for example. But yeah, normally, for example, if we play this order, the black can play knight f6. For this reason, we have another approach that is easier to create damages. So e4, e5, for example, before we play bishop to c4, I will suggest to play queen to h5. And the thing is easy. I give chess lessons. This is my profession. And normally when my students start playing chess, most of them, they become paranoid when they see queen attacking in the beginning of the game. So most players will play g6, and here we have the entering of the witch, because the queen can take on e5 and we are attacking the king and the rook. So after, for example, queen plays to e7 to try to take this pawn, we don't need to be afraid. We can take the rook, and after queen takes e4, I will suggest you to, well, here we can win with bishop e2 or knight e2. I will suggest knight to e2. Why is that? Simple. We are giving up a pawn, but the knight is already defending the bishop. So you don't need to be afraid of this checkmate because the knight is already protecting. So here, for example, we can take another knight and we are winning by 7 clean points. So this is completely won for white. Of course, if you're a beginner, that's not a guarantee that you're going to win the game, because you will commit blunders, you will commit mistakes, but it's a good beginning for your games. So here the game will continue, and well, 7 points is enough for a win. So don't forget, we have 2 orders. For me, the best one is with the queen, okay? So about advantages and disadvantages, well, you can win with a quick checkmate, but about the disadvantages, you're underdeveloping your pieces, because this can you can fail the attack. For example, black can play g6, and after queen to f3, you're threatening again checkmate, but black can continue with queen, or even better, with knight to f6. After, for example, queen plays to b3, trying again this attack, we can continue with several different approaches, some more, some easier than others. Here, for example, an easy way to defend is with queen e7, but in my opinion, the best approach probably will be with knight d4, because if bishop takes pawn, the king will advance, and the thing is that, well, queen to c4 is the only available approach, but now we have b5, and we will win material, because you can't continue on the same diagonal with the queen, and the king will take the bishop. So for this reason, of course, this approach shouldn't be played against expert players. This is good for beginners, and this is a good way to start looking for tactical moves and create some problems. So let's jump to our next position. Well, our next position is the legal trap. We have a video about that. And the game finishes in 8 moves. So this starts with the Italian. This is always with black. And the Italian is when we play bishop to c4. For example, the Spanish is bishop b5. So according to the movements of the pieces, we have different names of the openings. So here, d6 is too specific. So of course, this legal trap is rare. You won't be giving this checkmate very too much times, because, for example, I think almost 40,000 games on chess.com, and I think I won 2 or 3 times with the legal's mate. So it's not very common, because most players don't play d6. They play knight f or bishop c5. And this is very specific, because after knight to c, we are preparing to play the 4 knights game. Here, black will play first the bishop to g4. And one fundamental about the developing is that we should develop first the knights and then the bishops. So most players, even if they play d6, they will continue with knight f6. So of course, it's rare. So it's good to know these lines, because if it happens, you will be extremely happy, but it's rare. So here we will continue first with h3, and after bishop goes to h5, we sack the knight. And here the position is already superior for white, so it doesn't matter what black plays, we will win the game. Of course, the best approach is just to take the knight, and we win. I need to show. Knight takes, queen takes, knight takes, and we win a pawn because of this check. But here the most spectacular thing is when the bishop takes the queen, because here we have unstoppable checkmate. So first checkmate, so bishop will take the pawn, and after king plays to e7, we will give checkmate with 2 knights and the bishop. Disadvantages, it's rare to see this approach by black. If black plays correctly, you will have less ambitious line, so the game will be equal. And about advantages, of course, you will be creating a lot, so you work out your creativity, it's easy to learn, and it's a beautiful checkmate to give on an official game. Why not? So next position. So our next position is very interesting, and probably most persons don't know that it's possible to attack with violence playing the English opening. So we will start with c4, and after e5, it's the most aggressive and optimistic answer for black, because black is occupying the center with a pawn. Here, white will continue with knight c3, and after knight c6, we will continue with knight f3. This continues with g6, very specific and very normal. And after d4, we want to open the center and we want to explore this diagonal to create problems to the rook, that is in h8. So here, black will take. This is normal too. And after knight plays to d5, here, okay. This is dubious, but you will not lose a game because of this move. The thing is that white is losing is opening advantage. So the correct way of continuing that is playing bishop g7. So let's see the correct approach for black. And after bishop plays to g5, one of the things that I enjoy the most in this line of the English is that you will trick masters. You will trick very strong players, because in my opinion, most players like me, 2,000 players and 2,200 persons like that, they will think that, okay, this queen doesn't have squares, so it's too weird to be played. So they will play knight to e7. And the thing is that this is a mistake, because the correct approach is to play this knight here. And later on another video, we will talk better and with more detail about this line of the English. And the thing is that after knight plays to e7, we will continue with style. We will sack a knight. And the idea is that, okay, the black player will think, what's happening here? So I have two pieces attacking the knight, and my opponent just has one. So after bishop takes or knight takes, it's similar, because if knight takes two, you're going to win material, because you can win the queen. Interesting. But well, if bishop takes, queen sacks. And after knight takes, we will give checkmate with knight check, king plays to f8, and bishop checkmate. This is a checkmate with a knight and a bishop after you sack the queen. If you want to learn in the endgames the checkmate of bishop and knight, we have this material here on the channel. So beautiful stuff. And the English normally is a solid opening. The white player plays positionally with some precautions. But no, this line is aggressive. We create problems to our opponents. So the thing is that this is beautiful, because most players will fail the defense. The computers, of course, they say knight plays and okay, this position is slightly better for black. But okay, this isn't easy, because I can take the pawn and I'm not losing on material. So in my opinion, this is playable too. So okay, probably you will not want to play this a lot of times, but you can play this once per 5 or 10 games. So and then you change the openings, and later, 6 months later, you try again to play this opening. You will create damages. What is the advantage? Beautiful checkmate. This is too creative, very beautiful. It isn't. This is a very big advantage. It isn't easy to defend, because it's necessary to play knight from c to e7, and I think most players that don't know the theory, they will fail the defense. About, of course, disadvantages, it's suspicious, because if black plays correctly, you will have some problems, but you will have problems. And of course, the lines of the knight. So fourth opening. This one is one trick that I use normally, and of course we are talking about the Smith-Morra. And well, most top players they don't play the Smith-Morra because they don't play gambits, and the Queen's Gambit isn't a gambit. So normally they do the Spanish and solid stuff, London systems like Carlson, this kind of stuff. But I like to play the Morra, and for example, I've already won official games against strong masters. I won on the opening an international master, so it's possible to win games with some violence playing the Smith-Morra. And this line, I already won several titled players with this trap. So we start with e4, c5, and after d4, this is the Morra Gambit. This will continue with pawn takes, and after c3, of course, exists several lines. This is very theoretical, but here we will assume that black will fully accept the Morra Gambit. So here we will continue with knight takes, and after knight c6, we will continue with knight first, and after d6, we will continue with bishop c4. And now, this is everything very normal. And the thing is that most players will play knight to f6. And I'm telling that because I have more than 1,000 or 2,000. I don't know how many games I have with this Morra Gambit, but I've already won with this trick several times. And the thing is that we will force the advance of the pawn. Pawn to e5 is very forceful, and black will think, okay, I have 2 pieces attacking this square, and my opponent just has the knight. So let's take. What is the problem? So, of course, here, if knight takes is a very big problem for black, because if knight takes, pawn takes, bishop sacks. And okay, this is 2 in 1, 2 traps in one exercise, because king takes, and okay, we won the queen. This is beautiful. So black resigns. And the other idea is that, of course, black can take with the pawn. And here we will continue with the queen. And let's assume that a normal person will take with the knight, because if you take with the king, well, the bishop can take the pawn, or even I can play knight g5. This is the correct approach for black, but it isn't easy to defend because you're threatening a lot of things. Black needs to play knight to a5. This is very complicated. So the thing is that most players will take with the knight. And after that, we will threaten to attack on c7. And on blitz games and even on rapid games, they play this very quickly. And after that, you will give checkmate, because knight plays to e5 gives check, and this isn't available, neither those squares. And after king plays to e8, we play knight c7, giving checkmate. So I've already won with this checkmate several times. So it's easy, but okay, let's talk about advantages and disadvantages. You need to play the Smith-Morra. You need to know a lot of theory. Why is that? Simple. Because black can accept fully the gambit, and if you don't play the most forceful moves, you will have problems. And for example, assuming that you want to play this on a classical game, you need to comprehend, to understand hundreds of moves. So this isn't easy. In my opinion, exists easier openings to play, but you will be happy playing this kind of stuff. That's the thing. So if you want to learn, yeah, I'm with you, because this is very nice to play. About advantages, of course, your working the tactical moves, creativity. This isn't suspicious. You don't have any problem at all. This is a gambit, and black never is won on this kind of games, because you have the initiative, you're creating problems to your opponent, so this is always too complicated for black to play. And of course, you will improve a lot your understanding of open positions. So last exercise for you, and this one is easy in my opinion, and you will learn a lot, but is the longest exercise of all, and we are talking about this position of Cambridge Springs. So Cambridge Springs, it's a very specific line in the d4 pawn. So the Queen's Gambit, normally we talk about, we name Queen's Gambit. And after d5, knight f3, knight f6, c4, we are seeing a Queen's Gambit. And this will continue with e6, and after bishop g5, black will play knight to d7. And this line is known, but on games below, I think 1500 probably, or 1600, this will work with several opponents. So after e3, bishop e7, knight to c3, we are threatening with rook c1 to win the queen. But important, black needs to do mistakes. So after rook e8, we need to see that this queen doesn't have any available square. So we will do a trick to win this queen. How can we do that? Simple. First, we will play the queen to guarantee that we can attack this pawn. And after a6, to specific line, again, we can take, and after pawn takes, we will continue with bishop, and after c6, castle. So this is very long. So this is a trick of 14 moves. After knight plays to e4, this just works if your opponent fails, if your opponent commits a blunder. So right now, even with knight e4, this is still playable for black. So here we will continue with bishop to f4 to try our trick. After f5, this is a very big mistake. Here we can win material. After knight takes d5, pawn takes, of course, bishop c7, we will win the queen. So in my opinion, okay, this is very pretty, and yes, I've already won on the internet a few games like that with bishop c7. But in my opinion, you need to know this idea, not because of the Cambridge Springs, but because of the pattern. So this pattern can occur in different openings. And if you know the ideas, you will be able to apply those concepts in your own games. So about the disadvantages, of course, this is rare. Probably most players won't fail like that on their own games. At least if they are strong or expert players, they won't be failing like that. But the good part, the good thing is that this pattern is a new pattern that you learned, and now you will be able to apply this pattern on different kinds of games. So this isn't a suspicious opening or idea, and I think it's easy to apply because you just need to know the pattern, and you need to know how to evaluate where are the problems of your opponent, in this case of the queen. So very, very easy and interesting line. So with that, we finished our video about 5 chess tricks or opening traps. And I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like. But please tell me something, because if you enjoyed this particular video, I have several ideas. I have, for example, idea of creating several videos about traps against different lines. For example, how to win quickly Caro-Kann, 5 traps, or queens with the Queen's Gambit, several different openings. So if you want me to create this kind of content, please tell me something, because I need always ideas, and with your help, it's easier. So don't forget to subscribe, and every day I create new content about chess. So I'm counting with you tomorrow here at the same hour. Thank you a lot for the support, and till tomorrow. Bye bye.